The Supreme Court has dealt a major blow to President Donald Trump's economic agenda, effectively calling the president's global tariffs unconstitutional. In a 6-3 court ruling, the high court ruled President Trump's use of emergency powers to impose sweeping reciprocal tariffs on nearly every country went too far. Now, this ruling raises serious questions, mainly what happens to all the money collected by these tariffs. The Treasury has already collected over $133 billion from these taxes, and major companies are already suing for refunds. Reactions are already pouring in. Today, Governor Whitmer is calling the ruling a decisive and welcome step forward, adding, "I'm hopeful that this decision will force Congress and the president to table the work together on a more common sense, strategic trade policy." The market's also responding positively to the news. You're looking live at the big board at the New York Stock Exchange, which jumped shortly after the news came down. Now let's get over to NBC's Alice Barr with more on the decision and what happens next.
Hi there. In a rare break with President Trump, the Supreme Court today striking a blow to his signature global tariffs strategy. The justice's ruling he does not have the authority to impose sweeping tariffs on imports through the law he's been using that's designed for use during a national emergency. The ruling stems from a couple small businesses filing suit, arguing that tariffs on imports from China specifically are so high as to effectively make it impossible to get what they need for their businesses. And now one big question is whether the Trump administration is going to have to pay back all these American companies that have been paying the extra duties when they bring materials in from other countries. The Treasury Secretary has said in the past that if the government were to lose, it would have to issue refunds for about half the tariff revenue it's collected. That would mean repayments to the tune of roughly $130 billion. The president has long argued and underscored in a speech just last night that his tariffs are a common sense way to boost the economy, level the playing field with trading partners, and encourage more production here on U.S. soil. Administration officials have also said they have other options to level tariffs aside from the Emergency Powers Act the Supreme Court has now rejected. But while they weigh their options there, this is a statement from this conservative-leaning Supreme Court that's handed a number of victories to President Trump that they believe there are some limits on his presidential power. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.